Hey guys, be sure to check out the Mortar Pod, our weekly video podcast, and also check out the tutorial video for my board game, Travelers of Storia. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another cube draft. Coming off of the last one, I did pretty much a mono red. It was pretty close to a mono red. So I'm still trying to learn some things about this cube. Elish Norn is definitely a strong card. I'm kind of into the Toxic Deluge because that is a really powerful board wiper against, aggressive decks. It's nice to just board wipe for 3 mana. Yeah, it costs you some life, but a lot of times you can get away with maybe paying like 3 or 4 life, wipe the entire board. I think it's a pretty valuable spell. Probably not my forte of deck necessarily. It doesn't lend itself well to ramp unless your ramp is non-creature ramp, which it can be. But yeah, there's a lot of upside to Toxic Deluge. I mean, Elish Norn's a pretty strong card, no doubt, but I think I'm going to go with the Deluge. I think I'm going to go with the board wipe spell. I mean, the nice thing about Cube is you can pretty much go any direction you want. So, yeah, it's cool. And, I mean, you can splash for this card. That's the beauty of it. It's a black board wipe removal that's super easily splashable. So, that's kind of nice. Let's see here. Call of the Herd is some good value. You've got Bayou, which is just nice. Maybe if I want to go green-black, then Toxic Deluge becomes good protection until you can get some fatties out. That seems like a reasonable plan. Yosai, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm trying to think. Nothing here is too crazy. I'm okay with taking the Fixing, taking the Bayou, get the dual land. Opens us up for some nice green spells in the future. Huntmaster's pretty good. I mean, Sable Stag's double protection from colors is pretty nice. Nothing is standing out to me here as being like just straight insane, so I think I'm just going to take a Bayou and continue. Alright, Vampiric Tutor is obviously very good, especially when you have Toxic Deluge. So they've got the fully developed board and you're really just hoping to get that board wipe. But then again, that's a lot of life loss. You got to pay your 2 to put it on top of your deck, and then you got to pay additional life to wipe the board. That could be dangerous. I still think Vampiric Tutor is probably just the pick. I mean, get anything you need. I think it's pretty awesome. Caracas, I do like this card a lot. Plenty of legends in this format. Tree Speaker's nice. It doesn't work too well with the Deluge, but then again, maybe we just take it anyway because that's huge ramp. But then again, we don't have any fatties yet. I guess we go with the Tutor. I mean, Find Anything. It's really tough to argue with Find Anything for 1 mana. Hornet Queen's pretty good. It kind of sucks with the Deluge. Woodfall Primus probably would be a lot better. Hornet Queen overall is probably a much better spell, but with board wiping, it's not as good. Same goes for Deranged Hermit. But then again, I mean, this is a huge army this guy delivers. It's a lot of power it puts on the board. Bone Shredder's pretty good. Lets you destroy stuff and get a creature. It's not bad. I don't mind taking Primus here. Deals with anything and then comes back. Deals with another thing. Doesn't die easily. Doesn't put a million things on the board like these do, and it's expensive, which is definitely a drawback. But I think I'm going to take it anyway. I just like that it kind of deals with everything, and it's a good finisher. Alright, Pulse kind of is cool because it's on color with us. Necrotal is definitely good. Definitely good. Herald of Torment's alright, but we're starting to get a little bit too many things where I have to pay life already, which I don't like. Same kind of goes for Erebus. I'm cool with Pulse. deals with all tokens, deals with pretty much any non-land permanent, same as Woodfall Primus. So having these catch-alls seems like it's probably pretty good. So I think I'll just take the Pulse. Maybe the Obstinate Baloth would be good here since we've got life loss stuff, but yeah, I'm cool with the Pulse. Does this gain me life somewhere? Just makes them lose life. That's right. Okay. It's probably still the pick. I don't see what else I would really take here. So I'm cool with Profane Command. You can res stuff too, which is nice. Can you res any creature or just it's your graveyard? Okay. But it's also removal. Profane Command is just a good card. And especially if you're planning on going green, I can't imagine Profane or X spells in general being bad. Well, Pernicious Deed's a good reason to be. Wait, what is this? Oh, lets you fight and stuff. Pernicious Deed's definitely a strong card. Awesome, awesome card. Once again, just more reason to be sort of in rock. Overrun, if I had more tokens, I could see that. But then again, Moment's Peace. I guess we can take the Pristine Talisman. That helps us ramp and gains us life. That's actually two things I think this deck kind of needs. So, so far, I think I'm okay with the deck. I'd like some more ramp. We're in green, so we're in the right color for ramp. It's just we need to find some more. Volrath Stronghold would let us get dudes back. I'm okay with Lifebane Zombie since it lets us peek at worst and then gives us an Intimidator. Could potentially take a big fat green or white creature out of their hand, either of which is pretty awesome. I guess we're getting a lot of 3-drops here, which is kind of a little bit awkward. This doesn't really strike me as a Carnophage deck, so I guess we continue taking the 3-drops. Could actually take the Savannah. Yeah. I mean, Sable Stag's going to be better for, like, sideboarding, but Savannah opens us up for picking white cards, so I think we're just going to take that. And then we can take Taiga, too, which opens us up for taking red cards, but actually I think we just want the Thought... Oh, well, that's more life loss. So that would be Tutor, Thoughtseize, Deluge. That's a lot of cards that make me lose life. But Thoughtseize is pretty good. I guess I'll take the Thoughtseize. Let's keep our eyes open for life gain at this point, beyond the Pristine Talisman. I think we're going to kind of need it. We're very short on creatures. Currently just the Lifebane and the Woodfall, so we can start... Oh, well, Deranged Hermit. Doesn't survive Toxic Deluge, but it's just a really strong card, so I think we're going to take it. Especially if you bring it back with like a Profane Command. And something that can protect you and you can find with Vampiric Tutor. I like it. So Hermit it is. So here's the thing. We've got good removal. We've got good in-game plan. We just need some ramp, or we need cheap removal to get to our late game. I'm not going to be thrilled about playing an 8-drop if we don't get any ramp beyond the Pristine Talisman, so we are kind of hunting for some good ramp here. I guess we can take the Fleece Mane. I mean, technically it's playable off Savannah. I don't know how I feel about splashing for Fleece Mane. As good as Hexproof Indestructible is together, it still does not survive the Deluge if I pay 4 or whatever. Which is another great thing about Deluge. I'm going to take the Warhound since we probably won't end up with enough non-basics to worry about the price of progress. So, okay. Pack 1, kind of in a rock sort of direction, which is fine. This Plains, Island, Swamp, or Mountain. Yeah, this would let us ramp without dedicating creatures to the board. I like that. Garruk Relentless is certainly a good 4-drop. Lets you spit guys out, lets you, it's a removal, makes dudes. That's a lot of good upsides. I might just want the ramp because it seems like that's going to be a higher commodity. As good as Garruk is, I think we need to make sure that we get our ramp. So let's take the Farseek over the Sphere. Since Sphere only gives you 3 ramps, and neither one gives you it right away anyway. This doesn't let me find a green source, I guess, so that could be an issue, but I'm hoping just finding a black source is enough. I can't really play any more cards that make me lose life. I've got too many as it is. I guess Corrupt would be something I could do, but I'm splitting my mana base amongst stuff, so that seems less good. Let's take the Farseek. All right, Primeval, prime time, baby. Yeah, this card's insane. Primeval is absolutely bonkers, so definitely got to slam that here. This is actually the first time I've seen it in this cube, so good to know that it's here. Birthing Pod is something, but the problem is I mean, it's probably more life loss, I guess. No, I guess you don't have to pay life, but I think I just want prime time. Prime time, baby. Yeah, let's get the big dude that deck thins like crazy and lets you ramp up to your insane drops. Let's see here. So there's Duress. I guess that's playable. Beast Within is a catch-all. It's not a 3-drop, though. I think let's take the Abrupt Decay. We're on color with it. It is solid removal. Painseer is definitely too much of a liability. Hellrider's a really badass card, but I think I like the Decay more than the Beast Within. Beast Within covers more things, but giving your opponent a beast is kind of a big deal. So Abrupt Decay at least can deal with cheap stuff a relatively nice way. All right, so Overgrown Tomb, I think the fixing seems like it's in order. I do like Smother. Borderland Ranger doesn't actually ramp, it just fixes, sort of. And Tomb at this point, well, I mean, I just sort of feel like I want more fixing. Smother's okay, but we're actually kind of good on removal, to believe it or not. Let's take the Overgrown Tomb. Let's just get some more fixing. Just want to make sure we've got the fixing we need. Tragic Slip is fine. Nothing crazy. Merciless Eviction is a reasonable splash. It is a reasonable splash. Because it, it's like a exile all creature effect. That'd give us multiple board wipes, which is kind of nice for value. Tragic Slip is cheaper and doesn't require me to splash. And Phyrexian Revoker just turns off like Planeswalkers and stuff, which is okay, but I've probably got too many board wipes to ever hope to make Revoker worthwhile. I guess we are a bit removal heavy and creature light. Fire Spout, that's a reasonable sideboard card against the Flyers. I guess we take the Slip, whatever. It's removal. All right, Kakusho. There's another finisher. Yeah, it's probably a reasonable finisher, too. What does he do? He dies, opponent loses 5 life, and I gain life? Yeah, I think that actually fits our deck pretty well. We pay a bunch of life early, then late game we get to do Kakusho, and if he dies, we gain some life and they lose life. That's a mighty life swing. So, all right, Kakusho it is. So Windswept Heath can find Bayou, Tomb, and Savannah. Very nice. Wickerbow Elder. I actually think this is an insanely strong card. Maybe not insane, but there are a lot of artifacts that are highly playable in this format. So I think I'm going to go with the Wickerbow Elder over the fixing. As much as I do like the fetch, it's more life loss technically. I guess that's not as big a deal since it helps us fix, but we're only 2 color as far as I can tell. I don't even think we're going to move into white. We probably don't even need the Savannah. So Wickerbow Elder is just going to help us deal with, like our deck I feel like is going to deal with anything. We can really deal with anything. We can deal with Hexproof. We can deal with Indestructible. We can deal with artifacts and enchantments. That's just a really nice, that's nice to have. All right, Silence the Believers. I guess Smokestack's going to be pretty good against us since we're pricey and don't have a ton of ramp. But let's take the Silence the Believers, get some more removal going. We are definitely creature light. Uvenwald Tracker's fine. The problem is we don't really need it. It doesn't really make sense in our deck as much. Whereas Silence the Believers, I guess, at least deals with stuff right away. Histrodon seems fine. Comes down for 3 potentially, and then if you morph, you can get some good value out of it. I guess it's playable. Could also take the Graven Cairns if I wanted to splash for red. I don't think we are. And Skeletal Scrying, I just don't think that's reasonable for us. Corrupt, same sort of thing. We're just too split amongst green to really hope to get enough value out of that. Let's take the Histrodon. Um, Vengevine, don't really have enough creatures to make that one work. Birthing Pod, I mean, yeah, it's reasonable. Once I get to 3, I can start doing it. I'm so creature light, it just really doesn't make too much sense. Neither does Vengevine, really, for our deck. I don't know. I guess I'll take the pod. I don't think... I could have taken the Rocky Tar Pit, I guess, and found Tomb or Bayou with it. That probably would have been better. I can take the Ascetic, or I can take Duress. I think we probably don't need the Oblivion Stone. We've got enough ways to remove. Memory Jar is better with combo-ish stuff. I don't know. I'm more confused by that. I think we'll take Duress for sideboard. There's a chance I want it if my opponent's got some crazy spell I need to deal with. All right. Table to Smother. That's fine. So, okay. So here's the thing. Could take the Eviction, I guess, technically. All right, whatever. Here's the thing. We need some more threats, I think. We actually have... We have reasonable finishers. I think we need some more. What do we need? Maybe just a couple more creatures? I mean, 7 creatures is very light. Our removal looks fantastic. So really it's just, let's focus on cheap ramp. Because we have the Farseek, so we really do need some more, I think. Gaia's Cradle, I wish. I mean, it's good if I got guaranteed Hermit, but I don't think that's happening. We're just so creature light. Gaia's Cradle seems unreasonable as much as I'd like to believe it could be good. You know, it's good for some decks. Makeshift Mannequin's okay. Marsh Flats lets us fix pretty nicely since it lets us find Tomb and Bayou. And Savannah for, I guess, Merciless Eviction or something. Hydra Broodmaster, I don't have the resources to really capitalize on the monstrosity there. And we're kind of good on finishers at this point. Primus, Kakusho, and Primeval, and Deranged Hermit. Yeah, we're good on finishers. So let's get some more fixing. Let's find some ramp, and then we're in some serious business here, I think. Scavenging Ooze is cheap and gains us life. I'm probably okay with that. Life from the Loam finds us lands, but I don't think we need that. Animate Dead is a pretty good card, but I guess with all the removal we have, Animate Dead's actually pretty reasonable. But I think we're okay with Ooze. With all the removal, getting the life gain, and it's a cheap dude, I think that's okay. I wish we had a ramper. But that's alright. Scavenging Ooze, fine. Alright, Wood Elves, that does actually ramp. Brain Maggot's cool. Everflowing Chalice is also ramp. It is. But it doesn't color fix. I guess Wood Elves can only find forests, but it also puts it untapped, which is kind of cool. I think we're short enough on creatures where I want the Wood Elves. So let's take that. Sylvan Caryatid is definitely some good ramp that we could probably use. I think we've got enough finishers, so we don't need any of that. Night of Infamy is fine. It's actually a pretty good card, but I don't think we need it. Let's get the Caryatid. Let's get some more ramp. It's a nice blocker, too. It's just a good card. Alright, we're looking pretty reasonable now. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, because we've got the Farseek, Caryatid, Wood Elves, Pristine Talisman. So we've got 4 actual ramp spells. Got a reasonable end game. We've got removal for quite literally everything. I can't think of anything we couldn't deal with. Someone feel free to chime in on that, but we can take care of artifacts, enchantments, indestructible creatures, hexproof creatures. I mean, being able to deal with hexproof is rare enough. I'm still not convinced we're a pod deck. Just so short on creatures, it seems like it's a dead card most of the time. What's this? Chooses 3 cards from his hand, puts them on top. Oh, it's a bit too expensive. I don't think we can get that out most of the time. This, another board wipe spell. That's also a creature. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty powerful. If you have the resources to make that work. Another board wipe spell. Boon Satyr's good. I mean, Massacre's okay. Certainly fine, but I think I'd rather have the Bane of the Living. Because you can pay, the amazing thing is you can just pay, what, 4? He lives, kill everything with 2 toughness or less. That's pretty awesome. Seems really good, especially alongside 1,000 other removal spells. So we've got some ultra value in here as far as removal goes, which I like. So, all right, I'm on board with that. Ooh, we got to go for that Garrick, though. Yeah, it's 7 mana and all, but we actually have ramp now, and this is more life gain as well as infinitely poop guys out, so that's pretty good. Chainer's Edict, also probably reasonable, but actually probably pretty good. But let's take the, let's just take the Garrick. He's on color. How can we deny it? Crucible, yeah, that's cool. Croson Grip, maybe a good sideboard card. Sulfuric Vortex could be an issue. I'd rather have, I think most people follow the philosophy, or at least in my opinion, my philosophy is, and other people's are too that I've seen, you really want the sideboard card over the hate draft pick. And I think that's the case most of the time. Because the thing is, if you're hate drafting, you're not actually making your deck any better. You're just making one person or possibly two person's deck worse. So it's better to just make your deck better via your sideboard than make one or two people's deck worse, in my opinion. People can disagree with that. That's fine. Woodland Cemetery, yeah, it seems fine. It's more fixing. I like fixing. All right, makeshift. Can pull from any graveyard. No, it's your graveyard? All right, well, not quite as good. Hydra Broodmaster, also just not necessary. I could take the caves to make the Merciless Eviction as well as the, what's his butt? Fleecemane Lion, splashable. It's probably okay, I guess. Let's take it. Rager is more life loss. Animate Dead is totally reasonable, I think. Life from the Loam, probably not going to be able to really capitalize on that, but Animate Dead is at least a good sideboard card if we play against some creatures I'd like to steal. Because the nice thing about Animate Dead, we can res our dudes, but you can get their dudes too. And we've got the removal to pretty much, like I said, deal with anything. Stirring Wildwood, more white splash for what? Merciless Eviction, which is another board wipe spell. I don't think we're playing the Shade. Doesn't really fit in with the theme. This is more for combo-ish stuff, I think. Tangle Wire could be a problem. But I'm going to take the Stirring Wildwood. Alright, Wolfer Silverheart, which is certainly big. Or the Knight of Infamy, which is exalted and potentially good against white decks. I guess I'll take the Knight of Infamy. Like I said, at this point we've got enough late game stuff. We are good as far as late game stuff goes. None of these cards really matter. I guess we'll take the green one, but I don't think we're doing it. Plow Under is pretty cool, but yeah, I guess it's on color. Whatever. Last pick Rift Bolt. That's impressive. Somebody's just not the red deck player. All right. So I can make white work in here for Merciless Eviction. The question is, do I even have to? I think the answer is no, but it is a very easy splash at this point. Farseek, Sylvan Caryatid, Caves, Marsh Flats, Savannah, Stirring Wildwood. We got absolutely enough white to splash for Merciless Eviction, so might be worth our time since it deals with everything. Not everything, I guess. Artifacts, creatures, enchantments, planeswalkers. That's quite a few permanents, though. So for now, let me take my million lands out. Oh, never mind. Let's just say I've got 7 lands, so 28 cards. I need to cut 5 cards. So let's cut, or let's separate creatures from spells and sort of figure this out as we go. Tragic Slip versus Smother. neg 1, not as good in some matches. So I guess we can cut the slip maybe. I'm still okay with Thoughtseize. I'd prefer to not cut any creatures since we're a bit low. I mean, I guess Knight of Infamy is an option. I'm not cutting any ramp. Profane Command, most of the time I'm going to be killing something and then maybe making my opponent lose life. I guess that's okay. Also, I can give Fear randomly, yeah, or Res. Res plus kill a creature is definitely a nice mashup of abilities, I think, especially if that Res is something like Deranged Hermit, Primeval Titan, Kakusho, Primus. I could see that being good. Keep in mind it's only your graveyard, so that is important. Krosan Grip, yeah. We don't want to main deck that. Even though it is a reasonable main deck, we already have the tools to deal with artifacts, enchantments, so I guess that's a reason why I could have taken a hate draft card over it, but if we play against a high artifact deck, I'm going to be still happy I have it. I guess we have the Wicker Bow too. Jeez, we have like, just the sheer amount of removal we have is pretty insane. Let's see here. I guess we don't have to main deck the Animate Dead. 7 lands, we're down to 25. 2 more cuts. Prefer to not cut any creatures since I like them all. Even Knight of Infamy's fine. Pro White randomly comes in handy since it can't be Swords to Plowshared. And gets by dudes. Makes any attacker bigger. Knight of Infamy is a nice early dude. It just is like keeps you busy early. That's why I like it. Also because I have 12 creatures. So what are all my spells that deal damage to me? Deluge, Tutor, Thoughtseize. That's it. Okay, not bad. Life gain spells are Talisman and Garrick and Scavenging Ooze. It's not bad. And Kakusho, yeah. We actually do have life gain in here. This is definition rock deck though. I like this. The high value spells are very cool. Or it's more like high versatility spells are what I'm a big fan of. Deed, Pulse, Decay. Maybe Smother's a reasonable cut because I've just got so much other removal. Or maybe the Silence, but no, Silence can be real good if you have 7 mana. That can get not very fun or fair for your opponent. Maybe the Eviction just gets the axe. Let's not branch into white needlessly. Yeah, I mean, I understand we have the fixing, but it's like, it just seems kind of pointless to me. I don't really like the idea of it just for a 6 mana deal with exile all creature sort of effect. It just doesn't seem reasonable. It doesn't seem like that's what this deck needs, I guess. But we still definitely do the Marsh Flats since it fixes us for green and white. And by green and white, I mean green and black. So we don't need any of those. Marsh Flat stays in. One more cut, and we've got ourselves a nice little deck. So I still definitely keep the Tutor since it finds, well, anything. Keeping all of our ramp. I still like Ooze. I do still like Ooze. With all the removal. Especially if I like Pernicious Deed, destroy just a ton of creatures, then play an Ooze. Then it's just life gain fest. Plus make a huge fatty. Hmm. It's tough. I could probably cut the Smother. It's not that Smother's a bad card. It's certainly a good card. and it's sideboardable. It's just, I feel like I don't need all of that main deck spot removal, you know? The main deck spot removal seems so much less reasonable when you take into account I've got Pulse, Decay, Deed, Deluge, Bane, Silence, Profane Command, Garrick. Like, the removal just doesn't end. So cards like Smother just seem like it's going to be better against the red deck wins. Same with Slip. Like, I play against red deck wins. I have the sideboard options to deal with it. I can take out the Thoughtseize and go for the more spot removal. But I like main decking the Thoughtseize because then against, like, you know, the mid-rangey decks, the ramp decks, you can really cripple a ramp deck with Thoughtseize. You know, they've got like all the 1 and 2 rampers, and then you just take their 1/7 drop, and you're good. So this looks good. I think I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. Versatility, good finishers, good early game plan, good high value versatile spells. I'm down. Let's try this out. So let's sort by color. Take a look. More, well, pretty even split of black and green, but I mean, we did get some fixing, so we've got that going for us. Let's take a look at the stats real quick here. Where's my, what's game details mean? I don't know. I thought there was a way to look at the color pie, but I don't know how to do it. That's all right. Pretty even split of black and green, so let's just see what they say. They want to do one more black than green. I guess we only need triple green for Woodfall Primus, but then again, now we need our fixing, which is in green, so this is, what, 10, no, this counts as a green or black source as well, so really we have 11 sources of green and 10 sources of black. Yeah, that is acceptable. All right. So let's, oh, no. Combine it. All right, this is the deck. I like it. Looks pretty good. Looks fun. Let's give her a try. See how she does. I'll see you guys round 1.